Hello, my name is Crystal Petrie. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to make sure your nonprofit or for-profit business has an equally inclusive volunteer pool. From this lesson, I want you to do a couple things for me. Number one, I want you to look at your volunteers, regardless of the size, if it's big, small, or medium. Look at your volunteers and tell me, what do you see? Or better yet, who do you see? Here's a quote that I always refer to when talking about equal and inclusive volunteer pools. The assumption can be made that people are unaware of the social norm to target a certain group of people to volunteer. But the assumption can also be made that some people fight to preserve past and current social norms. Now, what that quote is saying is, for example, as an African American female, I would recruit other African American females because they sound and they look like me. And I would do this unintentionally. But on the other side of that quote, it also says some people fight to preserve those social norms, meaning they recruit people who look and sound like them on purpose. They do not want other opinions. They do not want other thoughts in their volunteer pool, on their executive boards, in leadership positions. So on purpose, they recruit, for example, Caucasian female volunteers because that's who they look like and that's who they sound like. Or as an African American female, I could on purpose recruit other African American females or even African American males because they look like me and think like me. But with a targeted approach using a multimedia platform, this can easily be fixed. You can easily have an inclusive and equal volunteer pool. The approach that I am recommending is not a quick fix. I'm going to repeat that again. This is not a quick fix, but with time, effort, and energy, you can accomplish an equal and inclusive volunteer pool. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that's going to happen in a week, but it will happen if you follow the steps that I am about to give you. Now, the steps that I'm giving you can be included in your marketing and branding if you have a very small budget, or if you have a large budget, or maybe somewhere in between. The steps that I'm giving you can be incorporated wherever you are in the space that you are for recruiting volunteers. According to a 2015 Bureau of Labor Statistics report entitled Volunteering in the United States, it states that among the major ethnicity groups, Caucasians continue to volunteer at a higher rate. African Americans volunteer at 19.3%, Asians volunteer at 17.9%, Hispanics volunteer at 15.5%, and Caucasians volunteer at a whopping 26.4%. Now, those are the numbers as of 2015. We will see what the numbers are for the 2020 census that was just completed. Now, what I see when I look at those numbers, when I read those numbers, is everyone is volunteering. All ethnicities are volunteering. But those numbers are skewed just a bit because those numbers only show people who volunteer in an organized volunteer organization. Meaning St. Jude, for example, American Cancer Society, for example, Retired Teachers Association, for example. So those groups tabulate how many people are volunteering, how many hours are volunteering, the ethnicities that are volunteering, male, female that are volunteering, and they report those numbers to the state or federal agencies. So they're able to capture who's volunteering. African American, male, female, Hispanic, male, female, Caucasian, male, female. But what I have discovered is ethnicities and people of color are volunteering. They are volunteering in their own community. And those numbers are not being counted on the state or federal level. But those numbers are being counted in the heart of the community where these people are volunteering. So they're volunteering at the schools. They're volunteering at the homeless shelters. They're volunteering at their house of worship. They're picking up trash. They're donating. They're painting their neighbors' homes. They're cutting their neighbors' grass. So they are volunteering. It's just that those hours and those people, that information is not being moved to the state or federal level. So some of the information I'm going to give you with that thought in mind, that people of color, Caucasian people are volunteering. They are just volunteering in their neighborhood. I'm going to give you 5 very simple steps that anyone can do to make sure that their volunteer pool, regardless of the size, can be equal and inclusive. First step, go to the neighborhoods of people of color. So if that's who you need to recruit to make sure that your volunteer pool is equal and inclusive, go to those neighborhoods. If you need to recruit Caucasian males, go to the neighborhoods where Caucasian males live. Establish yourself. Build trust and rapport in those neighborhoods. And once you do that, people will start wanting to volunteer for your organization. But you can't go just one time and say, I tried. You have to go repeatedly, over and over and over again. Second step, go to the schools of the community that you wish to recruit. So if you want to recruit Hispanic members to your volunteer organization, then go to the schools where the majority of the students are Hispanic. Go to those meetings, include yourself in those meetings, and one thing that you will find are the people that you discover in the communities will most likely be the same people that you meet at those school meetings. Because if you are volunteering in your community, you more than likely are volunteering in the schools as well. Step 3. Get a public service announcement or a PSA aired on your local radio station. The great thing about PSAs are they are absolutely free. In the United States, in order for a radio station to keep their license, they have to air a certain number of PSAs for nonprofit organizations. The crazy thing about that is radio stations never have enough PSAs to air on their radio station, even though they're free. And even though they're specifically for nonprofits, they never have enough PSAs. So you would actually be doing them a favor. What you would need to do is call your local radio station, ask for the program director, and find out about the PSAs. Most likely you will have to write your own PSA. They're going to give you a time limit, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Write your PSA, and then you will have to go to the radio station and record it. Now, one quick tip when writing your PSA, make sure you have a call to action within your PSA. For example, in your PSA, you can say, call us at whatever phone number. That's a call to action. Or you can say, follow us on Facebook. That is a call to action. Or you can say, sign up on our newsletter. That is a call to action. So make sure you have a call to action somewhere within your PSA. Once you have recorded your PSA, the radio station will then take it from there. They will play your PSA on the radio absolutely free. Now, since the PSA, the public service announcement, is free, they will play it at any time, meaning they can air it at 9 in the morning or 9 p.m. They can air it at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. It just depends on when they have space in their program. Either way, the information will get out and someone will hear about your organization. The next step, get your letter or an article published in a Hispanic newspaper. They are always looking for articles to fill space in their newspapers and or magazines. All you have to do is call them. And if you're not sure if your community has a Hispanic newspaper or a Hispanic magazine, just Google it. Google has become our best friend. And Google will let you know if you have a Hispanic newspaper or magazine in your community. And if you do, call them. Let them know about your organization, especially if it's non-profit, and ask if they need an article written, or ask if you can write an article about your nonprofit looking for volunteers. Most of the time, the editor or a writer or the publisher will even translate your article into Spanish for its readers. So that's something you don't even have to do, and your information is getting into the hands of your target audience. Hispanic male and female volunteers. Because they do volunteer, a lot of the times they're just doing it in their own communities. Last step, use social media. I cannot stress this enough. Social media is free and it's available to everyone. Everyone is on social media just about. So use social media. Start you an account if you don't have one. If you already have one, get on there and post volunteer opportunities. Always use pictures and video when you're posting. Another way that you can recruit using social media is, for example, if you want to recruit more African American volunteers, then use pictures and video of maybe some of the African American volunteers that you already have and show them doing what they love to do, and that's volunteering. So get pictures of them out in the community volunteering. Pictures alone are worth 60,000 words. So if you can get a picture of a Caucasian female, if that is who you're trying to target and recruit, volunteering in the community, get that picture, get that video, and post it to your social media. And I guarantee other people who look like that Caucasian female, other people who look like that African American male will stop and look at that picture, will stop and watch that video, and will become interested in what those people are doing. They will become interested in them volunteering, and they will seek you out. They will send you a message, they will leave a comment, they will call you, they will get in touch because they see other people that look like them volunteering. People want to volunteer and people are volunteering, but it is your responsibility to go out and find them. It is your responsibility to go out and recruit them and retain them. And you can absolutely do it using the 5 steps that I have given in this video. Stay social with me, your favorite consultant, Crystal Petrie, by liking this video, commenting below, and subscribing to my channel.